Welcome to the speaking portion of the IELTS exam. My name is Raihan. Today I will be your examiner for this part of the test and I will give you instruction for each of the three parts. What is your full name?
My full name is Azriel Hosea, but please call me Jose.
Okay, Jose. For part 1, I will ask you a couple questions to get to know you better and some questions on a general topic. How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling a bit nervous. It is my first time to take this test, and I'm hoping to do well.
Okay, where do you go to relax?
I like to play some musical instrument like guitar or keyboard when I'm feeling tense, or hang out at coffee shop.
Okay, what's your favorite type of music?
That's a tough question because I like a lot type of music, but if I pick the one that I really like, it's pop rock. There is a lot of great band out there, like the Beatles, Nirvana, or Indonesian band Salon Seven.
Okay, do you think music important?
Yes, music is a good medium for expressing emotion and as a means of communication. And when frustrated, I think music is a good outlet.
Okay, did you learn music at school?
Yes, but only during high school. At that time, there were arts and culture subject. I learned about tones, chords, and some musical instrument.
Okay, let's talk about animal. Do you like animals?
Yes, of course. Animals are fascinating because they behavior. Many animals are adorable and can be loyal companions like dog and cat.
Okay, what is your favorite animal?
I really like dog, especially Siberian dog because of their fur is dense and soft. And dogs are easier to train than other animals, I think.
Okay, have you ever raised an animal?
Yes, as long as I remember, I have raised animal about 10 times, like dog, cat, and rabbit.
Okay, where do you can go to see animals?
The city zoo is a perfect place to look at animals. There, there I could see all kinds of animals. Moreover, there are also a lot of pet shops where I can see various kinds of animals, especially like dog or cat or even snake.
Okay, what kind of animal do you usually see?
I usually see house pets like bird, dog, and cat around my neighborhood and my friend's house. I also see lizard and rat on the streets.
Okay, if you could go to see animals anywhere in the world, where would you go?
This is a good question. If I could really go to anywhere, I would likely go to North Pole, where there is have a different habitats and known in the whole world except there. And there are a lot of unique animals that we can see it in the zoo, like polar bear, penguin, and walrus.
Okay, what is a popular pet to have in your country?
I think personally is a cat because from what I often see on social media, many people keep it. Maybe because cats are cute and fun animals and cats are easy to care for.
Okay, that is the end of part 1. Now we will continue with part 2. For part 2, here is a card with some question and I will show the card in your screen. You will have 1 minute to look at the question. Think about your answer, and then you will have 2 minutes to speak. I will tell you when to start and when to stop. Are you ready to begin?
Yes.
Okay, your 1 minute preparation time begins now. Okay, Jose, your 1 minute preparation time is up. Please begin speaking.
Okay. When I was in junior high school, I really liked futsal, but that changed when I was in high school. I really want to learn to play basketball because the game of basketball is dynamic and each individual has their own role on the court. And in fact, my school focused more on basketball than futsal, of course, because at my school, basketball was winning games more often than any other sport. And I was really excited when I saw the basketball game because it looked tense and the equipment needed is only a few, such as basketball shoes, jersey shoes, uh, balls, and socks. But this equipment is quite expensive. Like basketball shoes, it can cost millions. This sport is a well-known sport on the American continent, and there are many top players there, such as one of the players that I like, Stephen Curry, then LeBron James, and then the legend Michael Jordan. I never took basketball lessons. However, I watched from the game and studied the theory and violation, such as technical fouls, then execution of violation. Besides that, I took part in extracurricular basketball at school to add to my playing experience. I like to play and learn this sport because I think playing basketball is very healthy for the body because we move every part of our body.
Okay, your 2 minute is up, and now we will continue with part 3. For part 3, I'm going to ask you some more questions related to the topic of part 2. Are you ready to continue?
Sure, let's continue.
Okay, let's talk about health. How can people improve their health?
Well, I think a lot of people will say by exercising or running, but from what I read and I know, it's not just exercise. We must be able to adjust our healthy diet, such as staying away from fast food. And we can also protect our internal organs, such as not smoking, because it damages the lungs.
Okay, do elderly people do much exercise in your country?
Yes, I think yes. Because in the midst of the pandemic situation, I see many elderly people starting to run and also cycle. And when I was cycling yesterday, there were maybe 45% of the cyclists were elderly people. I think they do this regularly every day. Maybe I think many elderly people are exercising to protect their bodies from virus and illness at this time.
Okay, do you think all illness can be prevented?
Well, I think yes. As we often hear, better to prevent than to cure. So I think all illness can be prevented. And as I mentioned before, to prevent illness, we can often exercise and live healthy.
Okay. Do you think there will be less illness in the future?
Yes, and why do I say that? Because if we talk about the future, there must be many great doctors. And I believe in the future, many illness can be treated like cancer, even though many people have recovered from this illness. And certainly, from year to year, there will be more knowledge about dealing with illness. So, I think there will be less illness in the future.
Okay. Do you think healthcare should be free?
Uh, I think healthcare is not necessarily free, but the exception is for the poor. Because if healthcare is free, then many hospitals and doctors will not get the money. And from free healthcare, that will be probably make the country's economy decline.
Okay. What makes good doctor?
I think a good doctor is a doctor who prioritizes patient safety rather than having to pay for administration first. Then I think it's professionals. Professional doctor is not choose patient by based on money, but how bad the patient are.
Okay. That is the end of part 3. That concludes the speaking portion of the IELTS exam.
Thank you.
You're welcome.